the dopamine they get from like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like,
Yeah.
is she gonna choose Conrad or Jeremiah?
Jacob
Oh,
or
he's
Esau. Or not.
I was like, when he said Jacob, I was like, yeah, and then I was like,
Is she gonna choose
The
the hairy
suspense,
one
yeah.
or the cook? Which one? I don't remember that Bible story, Dad. Jacob, or what was the guy's name?
I want to call him Cedric, but that's him. And
Team Cedric.
Edward.
Edward, okay.
I pride myself on not knowing that.
She was a neat
actually.
name, yeah.
with golden stream. Our universe was clothed in light.
Okay. Welcome to our 100th episode, baby. Woo! I can't believe we did 100
Yeah.
episodes.
Time flies.
Just kidding. It's our first one,
Episode 1.
episode 1,
Because
Volume
we were
1.
written.
because we were written. It's a good name. I'm Dad, or Pastor Dad, Pastor Headmaster,
Yep.
Pastor Heath Anion,
I'm London Anion, Pastor Dad's daughter.
Pastor Dad daughter.
Eldest.
And London has been wanting to do this podcast. He's been wanting to talk about books for
Yep.
a little while, about books you enjoy, books that stories. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, London.
Well,
What do you like to do?
I like to read.
Okay.
I like
It's a good
reading. I think reading is essential, and people need to do a lot more reading than they do. And I enjoy arguing and
Yes,
debating
Yeah.
things, and learning and being able to grow and just challenge myself and
Yeah.
be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All to the glory of God.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm a pastor. I have 7 kids. London's the oldest. And got 5 girls, 2 boys. We live in the woods, deep Pacific Northwest, and enjoy coffee and reading and hammocks and camping and hammocks and camping hammocks too. Those are pretty fun. And I also run a school called Timbers. Good name from the Pacific Northwest. I feel
Yeah.
like. Our mascot's a chainsaw. It's good.
Kind of.
Some days. And I'm also pastor at our church. And so doing that, and God's good, and I love reading. I do. I'm super, you get hooked on it, and I've been hooked on phonics for a long time. I was a little kid, and now I read. Do you even know what hooked on phonics is?
Kind of.
It was like a program back in the day.
I've
Like,
heard of
hooked
it.
on
but I
phonics,
don't
works for
know.
me. I don't know if Nana ever used phonics on me, but it's Bob books. So, tell me, why is it important that we read?
I think reading is essential, and good literature is very extremely helpful for a good Christian worldview. And stories have patterns, and they have rhythms, and good stories can help encourage. Stories are very powerful, so
Right.
stories can build up or they can destroy, and so they can kind of give an idea for like the good things you want to do or the bad things. Like I was kind of thinking about like as young people, you're very influenced, so when you see like a cool character, you want to be like them. So I was like heard in another podcast, and I was like, that's so true. They're talking about having like cool girl villains, and you're like, I want to be like that person. And you're like, no, that's the wrong idea. Like
Right.
I don't want no. And I can think of like some like when being like in elementary school, and you'd see like the cool, moody teenage girl
Right.
in shows, and you're like, ooh, I want to be like that person. Like,
Yeah.
she seems cool. So you can have bad stories like that, or you can have good stories that will teach your kids that they should be good characters, and
Yeah.
they need to have strong friendships and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
what
So
do you
yeah,
think?
I was just reading, and I'm reading a book called, I can't remember the name of the book, but it's how C.S. Lewis and Dorothy Sayers were good friends.
Mhm.
But at the end, there was a quote, I think from Chesterton, that was, maybe it's C.S. Lewis, I don't know, somebody. But it was like, we can identify with characters, the bad characters in this world, because we're fallen.
Mm.
So he's like, it makes sense that you are like, when you see characters, you're like, oh yeah, like we kind of get the bad character, because we are bad characters.
Interesting.
You know, like the good character, we can't relate with as much, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't, you know.
Because it's kind of like a high expectation that they need to live
Right.
up to.
Right, but you know, it's like, you need to have a goal, you need to have
Mhm.
like, okay, that's the person that I want to be, that's the character that I want to be. But you're right, like that anti-hero thing is so,
Yeah.
you know, so in.
So that's why you want to be careful with the anti-hero you have. And I think character flaws are also
Right,
essential and good main characters and protagonists, because a lot of shows, they don't have character flaws
Right.
in stories, and the character flaws turn out to be things like, oh, she just wasn't confident, like, you just need to love yourself more, you're perfect the way you are.
Right,
And their
right.
character flaws are they don't believe in themselves, and then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you're great, like,
Right.
you're perfect the way you are. And so to see, like, no, you are fallen and you are broken, and this is like, you need to strive to be better.
yes,
And like,
yes.
we are fallen, we are sinners,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that we can still do good and amazing things for the glory of God.
right. Are we getting into characters or books this week? Like top 5 books. What are your top 5? You do one, I'll do one, and then
Okay.
go back and forth.
I think we can do top 5 and then just touch on a little bit more of like stories themselves. Probably my first would be Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis. That has to probably be my favorite book that I've ever read. Lewis isn't for everyone, but he should be for everyone because he's
You know,
amazing.
most people did not like that book.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
a lot of most Lewis fans that I've like talked to, people that like his writing, they're like, really? That was like one of my least favorites, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I loved it.
and you and I just read it this last
Yeah,
year.
I want to read it again. It was just like so eye-opening, and like Lewis writes in a way, I think probably most of my top 5 books are different C.S. Lewis books, just because he writes in a way that's like, I never thought of it like that,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just kind of like, whoa. And he isn't the best author of female characters, which is kind of a hot take,
Yeah,
but I think Orwell was an amazing female character.
well, it's interesting. He wrote that later, so he was like a bachelor most of his life, and even Dorothy Sayers was like, he didn't really understand women. Remember, and his mom died
Yeah.
when he was, so he didn't really like. He had a hard time writing female characters, but when she was like, he actually understood it in Until We Have Faces.
And I can definitely tell that, because some of
Yeah,
Orwell's, and we can get into that later, I think we should do an episode on that book, just because it was so like in depth with some of the characters.
totally.
But some of the things, like conversations she had and things she said, I was like, that was a real like thing that a woman would say,
Yeah,
and that isn't put in a lot of literature and books nowadays.
right. Okay, so mine top, not, I can't say top because they like all in.
You read so many books too. That's
Yeah. Captain Underpants. It's gotta
Heck
be
yeah.
my
like gotta be up there.
that trash. No.
Top 3 at least.
I would say one of the first books I remember. Wow, gosh.
Thought of this
It
book
was a few-
beforehand.
I know, gosh. I mean, like the ones that stick out to me, like had to been one of the ones, Robinson Crusoe, to me was like, it was, and I think what it was is the first book I really pushed myself to read. Most books were like pretty easy that I just kind of read, and
Sure.
and they were good books, but this one I like really had to push myself. And when I got through that, when I started, it's kind of like when you guys like watching like British shows, don't you?
Not really.
It's small one.
Yeah.
It was like
BBC.
they like talk and you're like,
Downton Abbey.
yeah, I had my newspaper. But then you have to like watch them, and then all of a sudden, at first it's really hard to understand, and then you get into it, and then you start like
Talking like that.
talking about good morning.
Get out of my head. That's not true.
Tip of the morning
What
to
are you
you.
doing?
So that's kind of like what it was for Robinson Crusoe for me, and like there's like a redemption story in it. I'm not gonna spoil it,
Yeah, I have not read it yet.
but there's like a true redemption where you like takes someone
Redemption
that's
stories
bad,
are good.
yeah, and it was like, so Robinson Crusoe, you're next.
Screwtape Letters, C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, another Lewis, okay.
That was not the first Lewis book that I read, because the first one was Magician's
Space
Nephew.
Trilogy. Oh, no.
No, I did not enjoy space trilogies. I haven't read That Hideous Strength, so I haven't finished them
That was good.
because life got busy, and
Sure.
yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, that one was just, it was a format that I'd never seen before in a book, of like we started reading and I was like, wait, is this whole thing just the demons going back and forth?
Right.
And so it's a story about these two demons writing letters to each other, and there's like the master demon writing to the
Lesser.
apprentice
Yeah,
demon, I guess. And they're trying to convince the patient to sway him to their side. And so it was just like this whole interesting thing of like obviously there's not two demons in your head that are trying to convince you to do stuff. Like that's not.
Well, I think they were outside.
Theologically.
They weren't in his head.
Yeah,
I
but
think they're
like
outside
the idea
watching,
of
observing him.
like having, yeah, I don't know.
I
But
think you can be tempted by
yeah, like
spiritual.
oppressed. And
Yeah.
stuff, yeah. But just that idea of them like every time like the first opening scene was like him, I think it was him praying, wasn't it? And then they're like, oh, distracted with lunch, and they're like, make him
Right.
hungry.
Right.
And so like anytime I'll like start praying, and then I'll like my mind will start like wandering and like drifting. It's my ADHD.
Get out of here, wormwood.
And so it's just kind of like, oh, like get back on track a little
Yeah.
bit. So that was very, like, if you haven't read it, you definitely should. But yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good book.
Yeah, his setup for it was awesome. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with and I think I can do this because they're all connected. I'm gonna go.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna go.
Oh my god.
100 cupboards.
Not the umbrella.
100 cupboards. 100 cupboards. Ashtown.
Oh, I know.
Go
My next is
Before.
gonna be.
Umbrella of books. Like
Out of that whole like thing, which one would be like your top of like all the interconnected ones?
I mean, of like the book.
of like 100 Cupboards,
Okay.
like Ashtown, all
Ashtown.
those.
Like gosh.
I think Dandelion Fire is like Elliot's
Yeah,
top.
Chestnut King. And to me, it's like I've read.
I feel ashamed that I haven't read 100
Yeah.
cover books. Or
Just on
Ashtown.
you. Yeah. Like is it? I was a teacher for 15 years, so I read a lot of kids' books, and just the way N.D. Wilson writes, and like the language and the structure of it, and
It's like short but descriptive.
yes.
Like it's just like a snappy, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 Cupboards starts off with Henry, Kansas, and there's a fly. I think it gets stuck in like the screen door or something.
Is that where your
like that.
spider thing came from?
Could have
your-
been, yeah, spider crawling. So yeah, I think, I mean, that I can do that because it's my podcast.
Can
so.
you?
They're all together. They're like, and then the way
I guess.
the way
If
the
you
door
do top
before
like books though, you can't be like
book. Okay.
this whatever
Sure.
trilogy. Next one for me would be Outlaws of Time. That was like the first like series that I read.
Okay.
Actually, no, I lied. That wasn't the first series I ever read. It was the first series that was like, is it a trilogy?
I think so.
I think there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
But they were like,
Until you read now.
yeah, there's 3.
Is there?
Yeah, they're right next to
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Firebones. But yeah, it was like he had the time travel in it, and time travel in books can tend to be super confusing because you're like, wait, what time are they? Like, what just happened? Especially when it like, because it jumps back and forth from the character, but like
Right.
in a different time, so you're like, which person is this?
Right.
But that was like he kept it very straightforward and easy to follow, and like the characters were like amazing. Like Millie was like such a good. She was like the
She's the older sister.
yeah, Rose, is that her name from what's the Forrest Dickinson book?
The
Pippin's Rainy Day. Is that what it's called?
Crispin's.
Crispin's
Or
Pippin's.
Pippin.
Pippin the Christmas Pig. That's what I was thinking. Wait, is it Crispin's Rainy Day? Oh man, that's embarrassing. But I
It's a
think
good book.
I want to say her name is Rose. I don't know for
I
sure.
think so.
But they kind of have the similarities where they don't really have a character development, but they're just kind of there, and they're just kind of like the little like ray of sunshine that's just there to like help
Mhm.
along everyone else,
yeah. Mm.
and they're just like sure of who they are and just like the helpful.
You're talking about his sister, Sam's miracle sister, Millie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Millie was kind of just like Glory, the female protagonist. She has character growth, but Millie was kind of just the supporter of all
Right,
of them, and was
right.
kind of like the mother figure.
She's kind of like Wendy in one of the books too.
Yeah,
All the
yeah,
Lost
exactly.
Boys.
Yeah.
You know, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love when an author like alludes to different. You know, I like that, like classical stories. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've read this
I know
one.
that.
You know, spoiler. Yeah. Oh, it's Easter. I guess that'd be an Easter egg, not a spoiler alert. But yeah, okay, that's good. What are we up to? I've got
You're up to like 15 books
Can't
at
the
this
whole
point.
trilogy. I'd say another big one for me was Dracula. Bram Stoker's, not
I
the
started
movie.
reading it and I was like, what?
Yeah, because it's done in letters, and
Who are the letters like going back and forth between?
there's a couple different ones. It's like one he's writing, the main guy. I can't remember his name now, but he's like writing a letter back to England about what he experienced. He gets like locked in the tower, and then all this other things, and then Dracula like comes to. Probably botching this because it's been a little while since I read it, but it was really good. Comes to where England maybe, and starts doing things. So, but it's like
You did not
the
explain that
four I know.
He went to England,
So
like
you-
wrote some letters, like,
Yeah. Bit a couple people's necks. But like the format of it, like the letters between the way that he was able to do that, and to have a scary book, but not like gross scary, and
yeah.
like to build up suspense.
When was it written?
You'll find it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I think I know I
started
have
listening.
it. I
Wait,
know
no,
I
I
have it.
didn't. Wait, is
So, yeah, we'll have to find
it
out.
on canon?
Nope, I don't think it is.
I started listening to it somewhere.
Did
like,
you?
Maybe. I don't know. Could be wrong.
But and there's like male friendship in there that like they help each other out, and they're coming together and encouraging one another and doing some awesome stuff. So it's a good one. Okay, back to you.
I'm at number 4. Gosh. I was gonna say Little Women, but I don't. I'm just trying to think of books that I've read. I didn't love Little Women. I also read it when I was like 12, so that
Yeah.
could have been part of the problem.
Did you just read?
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that one. I think
Good.
it was good. It was very
You
like.
didn't want to read it at first.
I did not. I was very opposed to reading
I
it.
convinced you.
I did. It was my morning whatever drive to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think especially for being in the like what was that, early 1900s, late 18. I have no idea for no corrections.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
But I think the way she portrayed the women in that book was like powerful but not overpowering.
Okay.
And so it was like they had the ability to say no to suitors, and they had the ability to like not dumb themselves down for guys, and to be smart and but also be elegant and like
Right.
submit when they had the suitor that they like chose. And it had good like humor,
Oh yeah.
and it was like funny,
Yeah.
but it was like an odd sense of humor that I don't think everyone would get.
Yeah.
But and then I was very confused when I first read it, or like when I started reading it, because with like Mr. Darcy, and the first time she sees him is at this ball, and he's like, she's not handsome enough to tempt me, like all these women, like I don't want to dance with you, like you're ugly. But that was just everyone what they thought he was thinking.
Yes.
And so I was like, am I supposed to like this guy? Am I not? But then like as you read further, it kind of reveals, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like who his true character was, and you kind of saw that everything that was being said about him was from the perspective of the other.
Of other people on the outside.
Yeah, and I think, what was her name? The main character? Elizabeth. Starts with an E. She probably had one of the best like character like journeys that I think I've seen in a character, especially for like being written by like a woman written by a woman, because usually they can like write unreasonable like this is what we want women to be, or like stuff like that. And so hers was like super interesting, because it was like looking at everyone else, you're like, as you're reading it, you're like, oh yeah, like they're the bad guy, like they stole money, they like cheated people out, like oh. But then Elizabeth was like, she later realized that she kind of needed to grow up and show people some grace and look at things with an unbiased opinion.
And not take, first impressions.
Yeah,
and,
that's the whole. Yeah, that was originally going to be the title of the book, was First Impressions. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
How smart
Look at
I
you.
am. For real?
Yeah, that she was going to call it First Impressions. That was the original title. And they changed it to
funny.
Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smarter than I look.
Apparently. You got the whole idea of the book.
Yeah. Well.
It's all about first impression, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because she makes the wrong choices based on that first impression. And what's the bad guy? Wabasha, Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Yeah, I agree, because I read it and it was the same idea. I
I need to
appreciate
read Sense and Sensibility
those
next.
characters. Yeah. Actually, the name for that, the original, was going to be
Smart and Smarter.
Smarter and Smarter. Yeah, I was trying to think of something. Prove It. I don't even know. Let's Go. That's actually the original of Sense and Sensibility. She's going to make. Okay. Okay, my turn. I have to go with Lord of the Rings. I have to go with it. I am deep in LOTR, man. Lord.
Please no.
No, I just grew up reading it and reading it again and again, and and it's, to me, that's the thing I think what reading does. It connects you to a time and place like nothing else does. I can ask you, well, do you ever remember watching television and be like, oh man, I'm just here in this place, I'm watching television, and this is amazing? No.
I mean, like
Can you remember
you're
moments,
in the place.
like in your brain, memory-wise?
Oh,
do you ever
I
remember a
see.
time that you were watching your
No.
show? No. But reading a book,
You almost like forget that you're reading sometimes.
Totally.
It's weird. Like, do you ever
Yeah.
get like when you're like reading and then you kind of like realize that you're like looking at a page and you're
Yeah.
not like.
but like you're not looking at you're immersed in
Just crazy. That's
Yeah.
such a God-given thing that he's like, I'm gonna figure out.
yeah.
You can have words on a page, and your imagination is gonna like cancel out everything else. And
Right.
you're like just gonna focus on this.
And so when you look at when you look at how we read and those things that happen in your life, like I can with Lord of the Rings, a hammock, Priest Lake, by the water, like I mean I probably still have sand in the copy that I have, from the beach and those that's what I love. That's part of the reason is like and like you said, that's what God has created in us to be able to do, which is crazy. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, Lord of the Rings, and all the Lost Tales and the Silmarillion and
Mhm.
deep dives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still haven't got you to do that one.
I need to.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I
It's part
like
of your
reading more
senior,
than I do. Is it
pieces.
really? No.
You don't have to do them all. You just have to do the Fellowship of the Ring.
The first one.
Uh,
No, like you just have to do the last one. So
Yeah,
read all of them.
don't
lead
worry.
up to that.
yeah.
No, but yeah, I enjoy like reading physically more than listening to a book. I think it's like better for you.
Yeah.
But I also have a very like I go through phases where I'll read a lot, and right now I have like I have to get up, school, like work, homework, workout, go to bed, like repeat. So there's not
Right.
a ton of time to just like sit for like 2 hours and just like read. But yeah, I do. There's a lot of books on my list that I need to read, and then I don't get around to them, and I'm like, gosh dang it. And then
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, oh. But yeah, I think to kind of circle back around for a fifth would probably be Narnia, just like the whole thing was good. But circle around back to like stories in general and why people should read.
Well, I get my fifth. Did I get my fifth one?
That was your fifth one,
No,
wasn't
it
it?
wasn't my fifth.
Fine.
Maybe it was my fifth.
I think it was.
Caruso, the whole.
Maybe it was your fourth.
I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you one more because I have it on my lap right here. What do you think that is?
I'm guessing it's a dog that looks like a tiny bush or something.
It's
like
a
a dog
poodle named
Turning
Charlie.
sideways with a mustache.
Yeah. Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck. Perfect
John Cena.
fall read. Just the way John Steinbeck writes is so cool. He's like just good. He's kind of like short. What? Yeah, that's the trick you tell. So it's a true story about his travel across the country.
That's a
He's-
true story.
Yeah, it's like his journal. He has a dog that he took with him, and like he's in a sweet old truck. I mean, it was new to him, and then he had this like custom built camper. It was like all wooden on the inside. He wanted to make it look like it was like a ship, and so it's him going through like traveling during the fall time and like the crazy adventures. No, he doesn't have crazy adventures, but just his
I
observations.
went to this diner and then I went inside of this
Literally.
park and watched some birds eat some seeds. And then
he was just talking about mobile homes. I bet.
I thought it was like from a long time ago, and then he said in his truck, and I was like,
No
whoa,
wait.
whoa.
Yeah. No. He's talking about like mobile home parks. Like mobile, and he's like, they were like the cool thing at the time. Like everybody, was like, oh, it's like top rate mobile home parks. I was like, wow, that's good. If you could only see him now, John Steinbeck. Okay, so you wanted to circle back.
Yeah, I don't know
on stories.
what time we're at. But yeah, oh gosh, I had something I was gonna say. Oh, that's what it was. Like a good story. So I think like escapism is a huge thing, and why people read a lot of like romantasy books and stuff is because they're
Romantasy, I've never heard that.
romantic fantasy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it'd be like they kind of want that for themselves, or they want the like high of like the drama and just
Right.
like the dopamine they get from like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like,
Yeah.
is she gonna choose Conrad or Jeremiah?
Jacob
Oh,
or
these
Esau. Or not.
I was like, when you said Jacob, I was like, yeah, and then I was like,
Is she gonna choose
This
the
is
hairy
what's
one
cute.
or the cook? Which one? I don't remember that Bible story, Dad. Jacob, or what was the guy's name?
I want to call him Cedric. That's him. And
Team Cedric. Edward, okay.
I pride myself on not knowing that.
She was a neat
actually.
name, yeah. How about Team Normal?
I was so
Okay.
confused.
Jacob.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so they just kind of want that like
Sorry. Go ahead.
escapism. I'm just gonna check one about that now. Escapism, and a good story should want you to go out into the world and like look things for yourself. That's why I think 100 Cupboards, like if I had one takeaway from when I read it when I was like 13 or whatever, was that like there's magic in the world,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
there's actually not like a Harry Potter or like any of those things where it's like just like, oh, there's like the world is magical and like things like.
Do you feel like Harry Potter's escapism?
I think it could be, because I think of how many, I think seeing the fan base of Harry Potter and just how they're like kind of obsessed with Hogwarts and like that kind of lifestyle, just be like,
Okay.
oh, I'll have like my owl and like,
But wouldn't
My little
like
common
what
room.
would the difference how common room? What would the difference between like Narnia though?
I think Narnia, I think Harry Potter is like, so I'm trying to figure out how to put this in the words, but like Narnia would be like, it shows a sense of magic that it's like a quiet kind of magic almost,
Okay.
and a like something like you have, because there it's like a normal world,
Yeah.
and then they have like the other world of Narnia, but it's also like Narnia is also kind of a normal world, but then there's magic within it.
Okay.
And then in Harry Potter, it's like the whole world itself is just magic.
They're like totally separate.
Yeah. In 100 Cupboards, they also live in a normal world and there's magic. So you're like, okay, well, like, and it's not like, oh, well, like, in that world there was magic and it was like you wrote it in the real world, so that means it is here too. But it's more like the way they describe the things that are magical is from like a biblical perspective almost. Like, things that you can apply to now. Whereas, so it'd be like subtle things like the way the trees would kind of like move with like the breeze, and you're just kind of like, what is the breeze? Like, it's like an unknown force, like that's magic. And like different things like that. Whereas Harry Potter, or can you think of any other examples of, because I don't have one other than just,
Trees moving.
no, of like, no, Jake and me saw actually. No, like magic, like what's another book with like, or just like another like big fantasy book?
Which your elf one?
Cape of the Lost Cities.
Yeah. KOTLC.
Yeah. I think that one's less, that one's kind of like in between, but it's not like this world is magical, because that's the same idea where she goes to another world.
Right, right.
So that's kind of like the Narnia aspect of it,
Yeah.
but it's also like Narnia, the magic that it uses is like, wait, we have that here too, like kind of things. And like just hearing like Aslan, like when they would kind of hear him like speaking to him, just having this like quiet, gentle voice of like, you know, this is like the right thing, or like in 100 Cupboards even more so, because it's like you want to be reading a book that encourages you to like go out into the world and like explore it for yourself. And like that's the beauty of writing and the beauty of literature and stories, is that it helps you see the magic in the world.
Right, right.
And like the intro to the book I'm writing is like the end of the thing is like, maybe this like plain world that you see isn't so simple after all, or something like that. I don't know the exact wording, but it's like there truly is, and the word magic has kind of gotten interpreted, or like whatever the word word is. Like,
Interpreted.
ooh, words are hard. Wrong. And so it's like, but it's like genuinely like, God is the creator of, like, you can't tell me that a tiny worm can go wrap itself up and come out with like delicate, beautiful wings and be like, oh, that's like that's magic. Like,
Right.
science can't explain how it breaks itself down into a tiny goop and then like
Right.
recreates itself. Like, that's genuinely a magical, beautiful thing. And so there's like things in this world that we cannot explain. And you just have to know that's like God's such a cool God that he like leaves that mystery for us to explore, and he leaves that kind of sense of awe and like things. And so with stories, there's so many different aspects of like characters and side characters in the world and like time and like all these different things that blend together to make this beautiful thing that you can kind of look to and see. And you don't want to use it for escapism. You want it to use it as like, how can I better myself?
Right.
And how can I do this? And looking at characters and being like, I want to be like them, but
Oh
like
my God.
good
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
So what do you kind of think about that?
Yeah, no, I just read a book called General Orthodoxy by Chesterton, and one of the big things he talks about is just seeing the miracle of life and the sun coming up. Well, what if the sun comes up every day just because God tells it to come up? It doesn't have to, you know. It's like we think, well, a caterpillar has to turn into a butterfly because that's science, you know. Follow the science, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
No.
well, no. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Why does it do that?
And like the butterflies don't
it's-
really serve, like they pollinate, I guess, but they don't
Yeah.
have like a ton of purpose. Like
Right,
they're
right.
pretty much just for us to be like, they're beautiful and
Right.
be like, what the heck?
yeah. So or rainbows or
Mm-hmm.
you know. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. Rapid fire. Okay, just no explanation. Go back and forth about a book you like and see how far we can go. And
You've read way more
I've read-
books than me. I'm just gonna be like,
can't look at that. Yeah.
singing my soul.
Okay. You want to start?
Fablehaven,
Wingfeather Saga.
Ashtown Burials,
Dark is Rising, Susan Cooper.
Screwtape Letters,
Gregor the Overlander.
Silver Chair.
Last Battle.
Were you gonna say that one?
No.
Why'd you make that face at me? Outlaws of Time.
How to Read Nature's Signs.
Seeing
It's
Green.
nonfiction. Seeing Green.
Yeah.
Green Ember.
My Dear Hemlock.
Good.
Stop looking at you, cheater!
Oh man. I'm done. I'm toast. I can't even. You got me. Where's some other? Sherlock Holmes.
Kill the Dragon, Get the Girl.
God. See, every time I come up with one. The Hatchet.
Ember Rising.
Oh, My Side of the Mountain. Oh, that's one of my favorite books.
Summer of the Monkeys.
Summer of the Monkeys.
Gosh, I'm running out. Oh,
Alice in Wonderland.
Lunar Chronicles. Specifically Cinder, because I'll just name the rest of the series.
Okay. Dr.
Not
Jekyll and
crazy.
Mr. Hyde.
Scarlet.
Johansson.
No, the book. Not great books, but.
Space Trilogy.
Ooh, that Hideous Training. No, that's like, you have to name
Part
a
of it.
specific book.
Oh,
Because
specific.
then you could keep going from them.
Yeah. Oh. Hope this dog's
That
coming
we-
out. Oh. Okay, well, I think you won on that. We will see you guys for episode 2, which is going to be about.
Probably talk a little bit more about books and stories, and then I think that one will be more about protagonists.
So our favorite book protagonists, favorite
And
book heroes.
Character flaws, what we need to look up to, what's toxic in protagonists.
Toxic
Toxic
traits. Okay, sound good. Okay, because we were written.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Peace out.
with golden streams.
Peace out.
Peace out.